What is the domain and range of the reciprocal squared function f of x equals 1 over x squared? If x is 0, then x squared is also 0. But we cannot divide by 0, so we must exclude 0 from the domain. So the domain of this function is all real numbers from 0 to negative infinity. And all real numbers from 0 to infinity. But again, 0 is not included in the domain. What about the range of this function? There's no value for x which we can plug in to get a 0 as an output. So the 0 is excluded from the range as well. Also notice that the square of a number is always positive. So we will never get a negative output. Hence the range includes only positive numbers. We see in the graph of the function that there is no graph in the third and fourth quadrant, because we have no negative outputs. What else do we see? We see that the bigger x gets, the closer the output gets to 0. We know from the function notation that the graph will never reach the x-axis, because the bigger the denominator gets, the smaller the whole expression 1 over a real number gets, but it will never be 0. And the closer x gets to 0 from this side, the bigger the output gets. But we'll never reach an upper bound because we can always plug in a smaller x, which makes the output 1 over x squared even bigger. We have the same situation in the second quadrant. The closer x gets to 0 from this side, the bigger the output gets. But it will never reach an upper bound. We also know from the function notation that the graph will never reach the y-axis, because the bigger the denominator gets, which it will when we square smaller getting negative numbers, the smaller the whole expression 1 over a real number gets. But it will never be 0. If you like my videos, like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy learning, everyone.